So welcome back to another exciting and fun-filled review from Mr. Yoo-Hoo. And today we'll be looking at what we think is one of the best dehumidifiers on the market, the Cool Seasons Desiccant Dehumidifier. So do you have mold problems, issues with condensation at home, issues with allergies or musty smells? So in this Desiccant Dehumidifier review, we'll look at how you can solve these issues. We'll start by doing an unboxing and looking through the operation of the dehumidifier. We'll then actually test out the Desiccant Dehumidifier in one of the most humid and moist environments you can get, in a house in the middle of the rainforest at Tamborine Mountain rainforest in Australia. We'll then do one of your favourite segments at Mr. Yoo-Hoo, Mr. Yoo-Hoo Question Time, to go through frequently asked questions about the dehumidifier, and then finally finishing off to discuss whether we feel you should purchase the Cool Seasons Desiccant Dehumidifier. Again, thank you for watching our video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, let us know below any questions you may have, and also we provide links to purchase below if you like this. So let's jump in and have a look at the unboxing and operation of the Desiccant Dehumidifier at Mr. Yoo-Hoo! So as you can see, here is the dehumidifier, and it looks like a really nice piece of kit. I really like it. It's also not too heavy as well. If you lift it up, it's can be moved around quite easily between rooms. Now, it can do 50 meters cubed up to 125 meters cubed, but because you can move it around rooms quite easily, it's very, very portable. Now, I wanted to before I show you the operations of it, it actually contains a tray where the moisture gets drawn out of the air, so it can do 10 litres a day. The dehumidifier. This can hold 3 litres a day. Now what happens is if it hits the top, the machine cuts out, so it doesn't fill up anymore. But if you want to just leave it on going, there is a hose that plugs into the back. You can put into a drain which will just continue to move the moisture out of the air and just keeps them working continuously. So it's quite good if you want to leave it on for a couple of days. If you've got high moisture environments, it works really well. So what we're going to do now is going to jump up and have a look at the actual operation and how the dehumidifier works in practice. Now here's our lovely little dehumidifier in place. So the great thing I love about the Cool Seasons Desiccant Dehumidifier is how portable it is. So it's a light machine, can be moved from room to room. Now you've got a couple of options. You can put it into the room and turn it on and select dry mode auto. Now what this does, it will automatically work in the background and remove the moisture from the air. You can do a room dry, which basically means you put it on high, leave it there for a couple of days and it removes all the moisture. Generally what I did when I first got it is I had a bit of moisture within the home. I did high dry mode, left it for a day, then came back, removed the moisture, and then maintained it every couple of days thereafter. Really effective. I'm going to turn it on in a minute. When I do turn on, it makes quite a bit of noise, so I just want to show you the controls first to start with. You've got laundry mode as well, which is great to dry the laundry, particularly if you're in cold climates. Turbo works very quickly as well. I could dry my laundry within a couple of hours, which is perfect. You have timer functions as well, so depending if you want to let it on for a couple of hours or up to 12 hours. The swing is actually the mode to actually move the where the air is being pointed as well. So let's put it on now, have a look. So turn it on. So what I'll do is put it on dry mode auto. So what I'll do is, you can see the fan coming up. So what it's doing is it's reading the moisture level in the air and then working the dehumidifier accordingly. So you can have auto, you can have low, you can have high. I can feel a little bit of warmth coming out of there, just a touch, which is probably why it's better to use 20 degrees or below. Although these dehumidifiers can work from 1 up to 40 degrees. Have a look at laundry mode. So there's saving, put it on turbo. Yeah, so you've got swing mode as well. So at the moment it's up, you can do it to front. So it will point to front when it moves, or wide, which means it swings backwards and forwards, which it's doing just now. So yeah, so that's the dehumidifier. Again, works really, really well. Because it's portable, can work in many different areas. You can also use it if you're having a shower. Now if you can see in the back here, here's the antibacterial filter as well, that also removes any bacteria from the air, and you can clean this as well. It's a really good dehumidifier. Now what I want to do is I actually want to go and take this beauty and go and see how it works Tamborine Mountain, a rainforest in Australia. So you can see, and there we had real issues with the walk-in wardrobe was full of moisture everywhere. The clothes were full of mold last year. So hopefully this can help it. And again, make sure you jump on and have a look at Mr. Yoo-Hoo, www.mryoohoo.com. The review of this will be on there, as well as other exciting products and services you can have a look at. So let's go to Tamborine Mountain. Okay! We couldn't get a better place to do a review of the Desiccant Dehumidifier than Mount Tamborine Rainforest. And the reason being is Mount Tamborine is 525 metres above sea level, and it's a subtropical highland rainforest, which means it gets mild temperatures for most of the year, but also gets a lot of moisture and humidity in place. Very often you can see through this background here, mist rolling on into the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at how the dehumidifier works in a walk-in wardrobe, in a shower, in a laundry, and also generally how it helps the property here to remove moisture. So yeah, let's jump in now and have a look. Okay. So one of the biggest issues we've had with a walk-in wardrobe such as this on the mountain is a lot of moisture comes through the windows in the house, which means a lot of these clothes soak up the moisture. At the end of a wet period, it can have mold and mildew through the clothing. So what they do is, the great thing about the Cool Seasons Dehumidifier is we can just leave it on here in the room, leave it on for a couple of days, and allow it to remove the moisture from the air. So I'd say with a room like this, keeping it on, as I said, for a couple of days a week, should work really well for it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave the dehumidifier on here for a couple of days and come back and check on it just to see how much moisture it removed from the air. And right now what we're going to do is go and duck across and have a look at how it performs in a bathroom as well. So we'll come back to this soon. Okay, a couple of days. So the great thing about having the dehumidifier in a bathroom such as this is a lot of bathrooms can create lots of moisture by nature of showers and baths. Combined with being in a rainforest, the humid area can really cause an issue. So what this does is it dries the air out. You can leave it on auto. So when you go for showers, it removes the excess moisture out of the air. We've tested it a few times and it's worked really well. So maybe when you have a shower, bring it to the room, pop it down and let it do its work. Nice and easy. Okay, so I've had the dehumidifier on for a couple of days now, and we actually did have some wetter weather on the mountain as well, which helps give us a bit of an idea about how it removes the moisture. So let's have a bit of a look. So we'll just pull out the tray. Now, as you can see, there's the water. It's come out, and I'd say that's about just under half full. Now that would have been moisture that otherwise would have gone into the clothing, would have gone into the household and caused mildew in the clothes. So very good. Yeah, very, very effective in reducing the moisture down in the room. And the great thing is, it just sat here working quietly in the background. Didn't even know it was on. So yeah, really good. Okay. Now another great place to have a dehumidifier working is in the laundry. So the great function is the drying function can dry your clothes. So there's a function that you set. It works up and down on the clothes horse and can actually dry your clothes as well as dry the room and the atmosphere, which I think is a perfect and a great feature of it, especially if you live in places that are cold or cool. Sometimes it can take days for your clothes to dry. So put the dehumidifier on and it'll dry clothes for you. It's great. Okay. So welcome back to another Mr. Yoo-Hoo question time. Really excited to have you back here again. So today we're going to be looking at 5 key questions regarding the desiccant dehumidifier that people have asked. So the first thing is, what is the difference between a desiccant dehumidifier and a compressor dehumidifier? Well, the desiccant humidifier typically uses zellulite, which absorbs water vapor from the air in a similar way to silica gel. A fan draws air into the dehumidifier and passes it through a section of slowly rotating wheel, which holds desiccant, which dries the air. This is a comparison to a compressor dehumidifier. It's the second type, which basically draws warm damp air in and passes it over a refrigerated coil and then condenses the air, which builds warm humid air, which comes into contact with the cold surface. So they're the two types. Desiccant generally for colder climates, and compressor generally for warmer climates. So the second question is, can I use this in warmer climates? Well, you can use the desiccant dehumidifier in warmer climates. It does raise the temperature though by a degree or so. That being said though, for climates in, say, in Australia, in the north of Australia, I'd probably go for the compressor, while in southern climates, I'd go for the desiccant. That being said though, it goes on relative air temperature. So if you're using it a lot indoors, and you're going to keep the air temperature 20 degrees or below, you can still use a desiccant dehumidifier quite effectively. It does work. So the third question is, so how quickly can it dry areas? So the desiccant dehumidifier, I would suggest using it in a deep down dry first. So this will then lower the humidity down to about 40-45%. So what you do is you put it on dry mode, you leave it in the room for several days. What it then does, it reduces the humidity down to 40-45%. Then what I do is periodically then go and use it again. So I would say using it, depends on your climate. So it can be every week or so, or can be every 6 months. And what you do is you put it in for 8 to 12 hours at a time, and let it work and then remove it. Or what you can do is you can leave it on low or auto mode. And what this does, it reduces the relative humidity down to 55 to 60%. So you've got two options there. So the fourth question is, so how effective is it in drying laundry? So it is very effective. I was able to dry laundry just under a couple of hours. So it works really well. And you'll also feel the air was a lot drier as well. It worked really well. So the last question is, how does it work with bacteria? Obviously you're pulling air out of the air, moisture out of the air, and there could be bacteria attached. Well, dehumidifier contains nanosilver embedded in its lining. This means it passes past this nanobacteria and it kills the bacteria on impact. It improves the air quality that way. And it can also remove 99% antibacterial performance when used. So they're the questions. Thanks for joining Mr. Yoo-Hoo Question Time. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at the Cool Seasons Desiccant Dehumidifier. So let's have a bit of a look at what we went through. So firstly, we started with doing an unboxing and a look at the operation of the Desiccant Dehumidifier. We then took it up to Tamborine Mountain, a rainforest in Australia, to see how it operates in humid, moist and wet climates. We then looked at Mr. Yoo Question Time to look at commonly asked questions about the dehumidifier. So the real question comes down to, what do we think? We believe the Cool Seasons Desiccant Dehumidifier is one of the best dehumidifiers in the marketplace. And the reason being is it's very, very effective in removing moisture from the air. Whether you've got a shower happening, whether you've got damp from cold outside, whether you have moisture from rain coming in, the Desiccant Dehumidifier can remove the moisture very, very effectively. Combined with its antibacterial filter as well, means it's removing nasties out of the air too. So it works very, very well, particularly within cooler climates as well, 20 degrees or below. It will remove mold, or it will help with allergies, it removes condensation. It's excellent. And as we also covered, it can also be used to dry your clothes too. You can use it to dry the rooms all at once, or you can just let it sitting in auto mode in the background. So great job guys with this dehumidifier. It's really good. And we're going to be keeping using it here at Mr. Yoo-Hoo. So again, if you want to purchase this, there are links below to purchase the Desiccant Dehumidifier. Again, thank you for watching our video. We'll have other videos as well regarding home appliances. Also jump onto our website, www.mryoohoo.com, where you can actually view the reviews, but also purchase other products that you need for home, for fitness, and to take care of yourself. So so thanks for joining us here. Really excited to have you with us. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and again, thanks for joining the team here at Mr. Yoo-Hoo.